Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are today, tomorrow, or in the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last part of this series of Aqua Force units that I would like to see in EB08, My Glorious Justice. It's been a nice long ride with you. Glad that we've enjoyed this voyage together. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The units I want to see in My Glorious Justice, grade 1s and grade 0s. Now, first, it's a unit that I've, low-key, I've loved them. I built an 11 stand Aqua Force deck because of this, and I don't think I would have done it for any other stand trigger in the game for Aqua Force, but that is Mass Production Sailor. Just because of the simple fact that back then, he got 1k for every copy of himself on the board, plus he's a stand trigger, so after you drive check him, or you draw him, toss him on the board. He was a 4k, and if he's on there by himself, he's a 5k. And if there's another one, he goes up by another 1k. So, hopefully we get him in the front trigger department, but so far, no triggers aside from draw triggers have effects, but hopefully we start getting triggers with effects soon, and we could actually start going to deeper deck building because of that. But it doesn't seem like that's happening so far, so Bushy Road, please. Effects with triggers. And speaking of effects with triggers, you could not build an Aqua Force deck without seeing this card, Battle Siren Malika. She was the best draw trigger girl that you could ever wish for, and I believe that if she gets remade, and if she's remade as maybe a crit, because draw triggers, we got our Pavroths, so we don't want to play a 8 draw Aqua Force. I mean, we could, but we don't want to play an 8 draw Aqua Force deck. So, shove her in the soul, give plus 3k. And I don't think that they're going to do that. I don't think they're ever going to give us triggers with effects. I hope they do, but that's just mainly because of Supersonic Sailor and other triggers that's had effects before. They're being printed as vanillas. So, even if we get her just as an ecstatic draw trigger, I'd be okay with that. And to round out the grade 0s, the Ripple starter, and to begin the grade 1s for what I want to see, the grade 1 Ripple Sorito, or Soritario, however you pronounce it. Sorry, I don't have the card in front of me. I have it in my binder because I'm building Ripples for premium. Well, Ripples and then Thavas and Blue Waves, because those are my 3 favorite archetypes. Maelstrom will be built probably sometime later, but anyway. You can't have Ripples without the starter in the grade 1. You can't give us the grade 3 and the grade 2 without giving us the grade 1 and the grade 0, so just thought I'd throw those boys in there. One of them you need for the plus 10k, plus 1k for your grade 2, and the other one you need to actually get the ability on grade 2, which made Ripples so deadly once the retrains came out. And of course, while we're on the subject of Ripples in grade 1, Odysseus. Odysseus is the only Vanguard card that I know of to date that after 2 months after it came out, it won Worlds. 2, it got hit hard down to, I think it was 1 or 2, and then it made the deck way less consistent, but it didn't make the deck any less of a threat, because back then you still had your grade 2 stall, and it's just wow, that card single-handedly, it deserves to be reprinted. Even if Genovius is the double rare, he could be a rare, a double rare, I don't care. Put him as triple rare, shit. But yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites, my favorite Ripple cards, just because of him, and he single-handedly revitalized the way that you play Ripples. I don't know if you guys can tell by the amount of time that I'm spending on this card that I actually really like it. And finally, Wheel Assault. Wheel Assault, back in the day, he was a really, really good unit. He was basically a grade 1 Basil. He was an attack extender. like you got to, like, even if you were on turn 1, you could start exploding, because before it was just like turn 2, you gotta wait till turn 2, you gotta wait till your turn 2, and then other opponents' decks like started going off before that, so Aqua Force had to speed up, which is what they did with Wheel Assault and BT13 with the introduction of Wheel Assault, Tidal Assault, Tetra Drive. So that just cranked it up a notch, and I hope that this extra booster actually does that for Aqua Force, because it is something that we desperately need. We need to be able to, one, crank out the pressure turns. Like usually on turn 2, our pressure turn is Algos, Tidal Assault, and Theo behind one or both of them, and then that's it. But if they get a trigger, we're done. We need something that's going to, you know, draw us cards or give us resources, so that way we can do things a little bit easier and we're not so easily stopped by a damage trigger. So anyway, guys, girls, and everything in between, I thank you for sticking with me so far for this series. I am going to be making a Grand Blue series version of this, but I'm going to try to condense it down to one video, so it might be a little bit longer, like maybe like 10-15 minutes. If you guys do want to see the Dimension Police version, please let me know. I am more than happy to do it. And with that, I'll see you guys around. Remember, be cool, be careful, and be safe. This is Black Guy Senpai, and I'm out.